In the fall, high school football teams play a few warm-up games in the opening weeks to prepare for their region games. But that's not exactly the case during basketball season. In 4A Region 1, for example, it started with the Tip-Off Classic in November, and now local teams are right in the thick of their region schedules. The Dougherty Trojans are trying to get off to a good start. They hosted Crisp County tonight. Early on, the Cougars get a turnover. That's Javoris Cooks with the steal and the layup for Crisp County. But Dougherty jumped out early on top, actually, thanks to some good shooting as they hit the long-range shot there. And then they move the ball around here. This is Wheeler, who drives inside and gets the bounce for the bucket. Soft touch there at the rim. And then in transition, Quincy Robinson handles the ball and goes inside to Quimby for an easy layup. And then here on the leak out, Robinson pulls up and drains it with that beautiful lefty stroke. This one was close the whole way, but the Trojans pull it out 56-54. Now on to the girls' game. Crisp County has one of the best players in the state, Nashima Oliver, the post player, and they go inside to her for a basket. This game was tight in the fourth quarter. Here, Rakita Shelton of Dougherty fights for a loose ball, gets good position, and earns the basket to keep it close. Dougherty up 3 late. This is Kayla Green of the Cougars. She's in the corner, and she nails it to tie it up the score. Just a few seconds left now. Takia Davis passes off to Amber Ward. She fakes and fires and banks it home. I didn't even know you could bank it home from that spot. After some free throws, Dougherty wins in the waning moments, 39-35. We'll stay in 4A for a matchup between two city rivals who didn't pair up in the Darton Classic. These are also two teams with high hopes for this season. It was the Albany Indians traveling across town to take on the Monroe Tornadoes. Albany was down for most of the first half, but they really picked it up in the second quarter thanks to a guy by the name of Desmond Newberry and his teammates. Here they're down 7. Newberry takes this all the way to the bucket, cuts the lead to 5. Just a few minutes later, Albany tries a 3. They miss, but Newberry fights for the rebound here and puts it back. That cuts the lead to 17-14. Later, Newberry in a little trouble. He dishes it to Tyler Cheese, and he takes this in for the layup. Lots of lefties on that Albany team. It makes the game of basketball look a little bit smoother. And then Jordan Young powers his way to the basket to maintain the lead going into the half. Albany gets the win over the Tornadoes by only 1 point, 39-38. Now for the girls' game, the defending region champions get their biggest test yet this season. And we head to the first quarter. Monroe up by 4. Lindsey Washington with the steal and the finish at the other end to extend the lead to 6 early on. And later here, Washington gets the pass again in transition from Erica Hayes, delivers the heads-up play. So Monroe is up by 6 early, and they would only add to that lead. Gets the pass down low to Sakia Mack, who powers in for 2 points. Big lead and a big win for Monroe. They remain undefeated for the season, and they win 76-23. Any team that finishes second in the state and loses 9 seniors would have a reason to temper their expectations for the 2013-2014 season. But that's not the case at Deerfield-Windsor, where under legendary head coach Gordy Grohl, winning is more than a habit on the hardwood. More highlights, good crowd on hand tonight as the Knights of Deerfield-Windsor hosted the Glenwood School out of Alabama. Pick it up in the second quarter. This is Christian Wallace, pretty up and under there for 2 points. And then things started on the defensive end for Deerfield. They force the turnover. The pass goes up to Chap Ivy, who finishes the fast break. And then some good passing out of the half court. Justin Eady dishes it to a cutting Ivy, who lays it home. And then off the rebound, more transition basketball. This time they get it to Jay Barber, and he turns on the Jets, goes end to end. That's a bucket and the foul. Deerfield dominates Glenwood 78-58. Now over to the girls' side. They would also play the Glenwood School at home. First quarter, Nyla Perry reads the passing lanes, starts the fast break. Eventually it goes to Kelsey King, and the Lady Knights are in business early. Glenwood had a squad, though. This is Aaliyah Bell slicing and dishing to Emily Robertson for 2 points, and then Bell saves it on this possession, gets it right back into the lane, hits Robertson outside, and she cashes in for the tray. Deerfield didn't quit, though. Joyner Tyson here sends in a 3 of her own, but not enough of that for the Lady Knights. They fall 43-29. Now over to Sherwood Christian Academy, who is hosting Bind Christian on Old Pretoria Road. We'll start in the first. the Saints, Quentin Sanders from beyond the arc, he drains it for the first basket of the game there. Sherwood had a slow start, but off the rebound here, that's Lawrence Kelly, goes back up with it for 2 points, and later Kelly here dishes it to TJ Johnson inside. He makes a move, goes over the top for the basket, and then right before the second quarter, Kelly here gets the board, goes on the fast break, takes it all the way coast to coast, gets fouled, and makes it. That's a three-point play. Sherwood Christian coasts to a victory with no problem in this one, 74-29. Next game will be on the road against Brookwood. And now for the women's side with the Lady Eagles in the first half here. Heather Horn throws it into Megan Ebel, who dishes it to Kylie Burton, and she would finish for 2 points for Bine. And then later here, a couple possessions later, off the steal, that's Taylor Walker, passes it into Kendallyn Stone, and she takes care of business for the basket. And then in the end, this is in the second half now on the fast break, Thomas passes it up to a teammate. That's another easy layup. Lady Eagles win big at home over the Saints, 48-21.